different direction that really ticked me off. He could get away with doing things, saying things, wearing things, that if I ever tried that, I'd have been arrested. I mean, he would say things to people, to a waitress, to whoever. He'd say things to people. You don't say that, and the waitress would be laughing. Or he'd wear things, and I'd say, I don't think you can go dressed like that. He'd go dressed like that, and everybody was fine with it. If I wore those things, I'd get tossed out. I don't know how he ever got away with it, but he would say things and do things, and everybody that he did these things to or with loved him. Didn't matter who it was, they loved him for it. The other thing that some of you may know this, Sal, you probably know this. He's a guy who in 63 years, you've heard the term pack rat? In 63 years, he has not thrown out one piece of clothing.
I know, and he would wear the same clothes.
When we moved him from his apartment in Malden, which had a couple of 3 closets, to the assisted living in Chelsea, which had has 2 closets, really only 1 clothes closet, we had to get rid of a lot of clothes. You will back me up on this. What would you say, about 25, 30 bags of clothes?
Trash bags.
Trash bags of clothes. 25, let me repeat that. 25 or 30 bags of clothes. Okay? So I had to go through these clothes to figure out, well, which ones should he keep, which ended up being about 1 bag, and which ones, to give away. But I still had to go through them. I don't know how many of you have recently seen clothes from the 60s and the 70s and the silk shirts with the long collars, the leisure suit. Clothes that had tags on them because he hadn't gotten around to wearing them. This guy had more clothes.
Bobby, how about the dress? He had, when he moved from Malden, his mother's house, into Malden, was that Salem Street in Malden?
Yeah.
He had a dresser in the closet.
Oh yeah.
4 drawers.
He had a double bureau. It was 8 drawers because it was a double bureau.
Yeah, he wheeled us in the closet. And then unbelievable. Then he had 2 other walls, anyhow, go ahead.
I'm going to tell you, Goodwill Industries in Worcester is still thanking me for all the clothes that we gave them.
Lights.
Whoops. We kept them going for weeks, just bringing over bags of clothes.
I did his dry cleaning.
And when
I have a dry cleaners. I had his dry cleaning. I went to his house.
That's right. You did his.
It was like 3 years ago. He's still in the plastic bags. And he never even dry cleaned all his clothes, but he would leave them in the closet.
And he had all these clothes, some of which were nice clothes in the time that they were purchased. They were nice clothes. It didn't make any difference. He still threw on sweatpants and a t-shirt.
Yes. Right.
Anywhere he went, it was a sweatshirt, sweatpants, and a t-shirt, and a sweatshirt if it was wintertime. That was it. That's all he could. He was as casual as he could be. I didn't wear a jacket and tie today purposely because I figured he might not recognize me. He wanted, and those of you who know him well, he was a casual person. He believed in being relaxed, casual, comfortable. He relaxed, take it easy. That was my brother and your friend.
How about his childhood?
Child, I don't remember.
Your mother,
Was I once a child?
Tied him to a chair.
Yeah, she told me he used to pull the pots out of all the time to bang on the pots.
Yeah, well, we used to use the term, to be polite, we used to use the term irascible. That was a kind word. Out of control might have been a better, a more truthful, more accurate definition. He was, know, he was all over the place as a kid. He wanted to do his own thing, which you can't imagine that. He got into the drums at a pretty early age, so you can imagine what the rest of the family thought of the drums going. You know, but we learned to live with it. He played the drums in the bedroom. I'd go as far away as I could. But he became a pretty good drummer, huh?
Yeah.
He became mostly self-taught. Mostly self-taught. Of course, he went to Berkeley. Later in life, he was really proud of that.
Swinging, man.
Yeah. So what kind of
Hey man, yeah, he talked like he was still in the 60s.
Yeah.
Anybody else, you know, you'd say, what is this guy nuts? Yeah, you just laugh. I mean, it was, and not only did you just laugh, you started doing it yourself when you were talking to him. You know, you find yourself saying, okay man, I'll see you later. You think, you know, what did I just say?
Everybody was mad, even though Roman waitress.
Oh yeah.
Everybody was mad.
Yeah. It's all right,
Get
man.
some more coffee.
Don't worry. And there was a select few of you that were called bro.
Very select.
Yeah, there was a handful of people that he would call bro.
Bro was into service. We go into a restaurant. I actually heard this with my own ears. He tells the waitress, it's like 2 in the morning. I don't know. It's some diner, I think it was. He goes, hey man, I just want to let you know right now I'm into service. We all like looked at each other. We hit the floor for about a half an hour. He was serious too.
Your dad was a lot like his dad. When I hung out with your dad at Temple, I did Kaddish with my mom, and he introduced me to all the alpacas there.
Yeah.
Like your dad, you know, talking to his dad, it was like. He'd be like, if I tell him a problem or something, go, it's all right, don't worry, just do what you want to do. Do what you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
You know,
They had that in common.
yeah, they had that
Question about it.
same personality, kind of like that.
And they bore their illnesses bravely.
Yeah, that's right.
Your dad never complained.
Yeah, that's right.
He was lying on the sofa and passing.
Yeah.
That's right.
Nice.
That's right.
Never.
Well, I just want to thank all of you, and a couple of you in particular, for all that you've done for him over the last few years. I really appreciate it. I know he appreciated it, and you all know he appreciated it.
Yeah.
He's an inspiration to all of us.
He appreciated the littlest thing.
Anything you
He'd
did
come back,
for him.
he said, you know, Cliffy, I remember. I mean, I do one little thing. You know, I just want to say, you're a real mensch for doing that for me, Cliffy. You know, and I didn't do anything.
I'd go over there and hang up a couple of his clothes, and he'd thank me, you know, like I did this huge project, you know.
I'm glad he's near the tree. They got him right next to the tree. Isn't that wonderful? I really mean that.
Yeah.
Like how appropriate for Arthur to be right next to that big tree.
The tree lives forever.
Yeah.
You know, he was in, my mother was in the Chelsea nursing home, and he was in there at the time, a couple of years ago. So I used to see him all the time. Of course, I lived with him, you know. But he was one of the few guys that could talk to about my mother's situation. He'd say, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing, I could have done better, and he was always like,
You know, when he was in the nursing home the last time, before he went back to assisted living, you know, he was up and around. I mean, truthfully, he was in better condition than most of the people in the nursing home. I remember having a conversation. I was taking him out to lunch one day, and we were waiting by the elevator, and one of the nurses, actually I think it was a doctor, came up to me and said, when is he going home? I said, I don't know, I think next week, you know, which at the time, that's what I thought it was. This was over this past summer, earlier this summer. And I said, I think next week. He says, for God's sakes, will you get him out of here? He doesn't belong here. He's got no business being here. Get him out of here already. And it was the following week that we went back to assisted living. But he fought a tough battle. You know, the human body can take just so much. But he's in a good place now. I'm comfortable. but we all have memories. A lot of you have pictures.